Hello, this is Felix from the Drummer Talk, and we are here today with Alex Vesper. Hello, Alex.
Hello.
And Pete Antunes, and I'm very nervous because it's one of my favorite bands from my childhood. Tower of Power. You are the drummer of Tower of Power, and I want to say hello to you at first. Hello, Pete.
Hello.
Thank you for the interview.
Of course. I mean, there's no need to be nervous. I'm probably more nervous than you are.
I don't think so. We had the chance to listen to your drumming during the sound check, and that was amazing.
Well, thank you.
It was so many thoughts I had, and I think we will have some questions about the tour and the drumming of you, if that's okay.
Of course, of course.
Okay. You started drumming very early, with the age of 3.
That was when I received my first drum set.
All right.
Yeah, and it was a full-size drum set, so I couldn't reach the pedals till I was like 5. So I just kind of sat there and swung my sticks at whatever I could reach.
Was it a drum set of your father? Did your father also play drums, or was it your own drum set?
No, so the whole story with my family discovering that I was going to be a drummer was my father's mother used to babysit me when I was an infant, and I couldn't walk yet, and she would cook on one side of the house in her little kitchen, and she had like this little tiny house that was like a horseshoe shaped. And her record player and the whole entertainment center was on the other side of the house.
All right.
So she would turn on like, Kool and the Gang or Sly and the Family Stone, Earth, Wind and Fire, whatever, and just like stuff that would excite me musically. And she'd surround me with like milk crates and put pots and pans in them and just drop a whole bunch of like wooden spoons. If she didn't hear clanking, she would come looking for me and I was crawling off somewhere. And she was just like, he doesn't really move that much, so we should probably get him some drums. And the family got me drums, and I just started banging on.
With the age of 3, your first drum set.
Yeah.
That's really early. I think.
It is.
And with 5, you have the first private lessons.
5 was, that was, so my father brought me to a longtime friend of his, and he just taught me everything he could. And they were just taking advantage of the sponge brain. I was sucking up all the information that they could give me, and they were like, he loves this, so this is easy. So, yeah.
And the saying is that you heard Tower of Power the first time when you were 6.
6 or 7, yeah. 6
or 7. And do you still remember? Did it do something with you?
Oh, or? God, yeah. I had been listening to like soul and R&B from such an early age, and pop. But my father put on the Back to Oakland record, and it starts with the Oakland Stroke. And immediately I was just like stuck. Like I couldn't do anything. I was like, play it again, play it again, play it again, like play it again. Oh my God. Like it just broke my brain, because I was like, what is this? Yeah. It's so funky and it makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
At all. That's 7-year-old me being like, what is this? And I fell in love with it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very good. And I realized that you have a pretty wide background of music. I mean, you're really interested in a lot of styles.
Yes.
And,
yeah.
And how come? Do you have any boundaries or any genres, or is it just music?
It's just music.
It is music. I
mean, whatever like excites you and like gets the thoughts moving, and like if it inspires a certain feeling or anything like that, then that's for me.
That could be hard rock, metal.
It could be metal. It could be like folk music. It could be orchestra. It could be musical. It could be opera. It could be anything. As long as it's really meaningful and impactful. If you can hear when music is like brought to you from the heart. If it's contrived, it's like, okay, it might be cool, but like, But when you hear like music of any genre that's like really means something to somebody, and it's it's really from the heart, it comes across.
Okay.
So, yeah.
When was your first band then?
My first band? Ooh. Goodness, I wasn't in an actual band until probably after high school. Yeah. I played my first gig, I think, when I was like 11 or 12, and I played like 2 songs. I just sat in at, it was a local like music. They had 2 stages at a local festival, and I just sat in. It was my teacher's band. I sat in for 2 songs, and everyone was like, "Holy crap, that's a little kid playing this music," and I was like, I'm terrified. Can I get off the stage now? It was great for me, but I was super nervous. Yeah, okay. I had a lot of stage fright when I was younger.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So after college, you went to Berkeley to study there, and that was a time where you also had your first band or something like that, or was it earlier?
When I graduated high school in '99, and I took like a year in between graduating high school and going to college. So there was a year of like just not really doing anything and trying to figure out like where I really wanted to go.
You weren't sure to be a musician, or?
Well, no, I knew I wanted to be a musician, but honestly, like I wanted to go to Berkeley, but I'm not gonna lie, like the application when I was that age was terrifying. It scared the crap out of me.
Right.
To look at that big fat book that I had to like answer all these questions, like it scared me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a year and just play music and just hang out with my friends and, really think about like, do I want to go here? Because it's, I don't know what Berkeley costs now, but, back in '99, it was still like $35,000 a year.
Right. Yeah.
That's a major decision to do that.
That's crazy.
And especially for music, you're not going to like medical school where like you're gonna like go from there into a hospital. It's like you could graduate and then go to the post office.
Yeah.
Not do anything in music. Like there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money on a gamble. So it was like, is this where I want to go? And then, yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
And what was the reason that you then decided to go to Berkeley?
Honestly, the reason was just being introduced to like so many more people that were just as driven as me, if not more. Like because I grew up in a small town, and it is a musical community, but the education and the scene only goes so far. But then you go into like the city, you get into Boston, and it's a whole nother animal. Like you go to sit in at a local bar. That's one thing. You go up to the city and you go to sit in. It's like, oh, I don't belong here yet. I have some practicing to do. Oh my, like it was eye opening, but I felt like I was ready for it.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you think it's still important to have a decent education in music?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Whether it's college or not, I mean, it's just don't stop trying to find more and more information. Mm-hmm. It's like not everyone has the opportunity to, afford going to college. Right. If you can, do it for sure.
Okay. Despite the fact of YouTube and DVDs.
Well, that's the thing. Like these days, there's so many more. There's so much more access to information. Like we can get it so quickly. Like any form of like gospel music that I know of is because of being introduced to it as a younger kid. But now with like YouTube, it's like I love the style. But I'm not from church, and anything that I've gotten that anyone would consider gospel is just from me watching YouTube, and emulating different concepts and like trying to apply it to me because I'm not a gospel player at all. But there are some things that like I'm just like, oh my God, that concept's awesome. I'm gonna try to implement that into my playing and see how I can turn it into my own thing and go from there. So.
But in Berkeley, you get introduced to composition and maybe piano playing and stuff like this, or singing, or presentation, or whatever.
It did, and I didn't do very well with honestly with the thing that you said, the piano part of it. Like I was terrible at harmony. Yeah, you too?
Guilty.
Oh man, so like harmony 1, got through it. Harmony 2. it was a struggle. Harmony 3, oh my goodness, it was a fight. And then Harmony 4, I left Berkeley. I didn't graduate. I dropped out. And honestly, the main reason was like I was like I had to pass Harmony 4, and it was a completely different language to me. I was like, I'm not going to make it through this. I don't understand it because I don't play the instrument. I have no way to apply it.
And then you turned pro afterwards?
Well,
whatever that means, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, my turning pro it's not something that everyone has to do, but you know, I talked to my cousin who's Kevin Antunes. He's Madonna's musical director, worked with like Rihanna, Justin Timberlake, NSYNC. I asked him, I was like, hey, where should I go to, you know, get into the industry as fast as possible? Like, I want to tour, I want to play music, I want to make it my career. And he was like, go to LA. I went to LA and I used Guitar Center, which is a music store, a major chain. I used that to transfer. I only lasted like 3 months at Guitar Center out there, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Got a guy's phone number. Next month after that, I was auditioning for Macy Gray, and then I got the gig. And then my first made it gig was opening up for Earth, Wind & Fire at the Greek Theater in Hollywood.
Great.
Wow.
And Macy Gray as well is a tremendous artist.
Yeah.
It's a cool band to play with.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And you played Cirque du Soleil, the Michael Jackson World Tour.
Yes.
And stepped on the foot of Jonathan Moffat.
Yes.
And that was a major thing, or to step in such
It was huge.
Yeah.
It was huge. Like he ended up catching pneumonia. He was sick, and they were coming from, I think they were actually coming from Germany, and they were going to, where did I meet them? I met them in Japan. He never made it to Japan.
All right.
So they did their first week of shows, and everyone was like, where is Jonathan? The drum set was just empty. So they had to like they had to play the tracks of the drums. There was no live drums. So and then, so my cousin Kevin, he arranged the entire show. So
he was a musical director of the show, or?
He arranged it.
He arranged it.
And then he never toured it. He never played it.
All right.
It was Greg Gaines, and then when Greg left, he handed down the musical director role to Daryl Smith. And Daryl was the MD when I showed up. But I had a week to prep to like, and honestly, it was funny because playing Jonathan's kit, I knew all.
And you played also Jonathan's kit.
Oh yeah, it was.
With all the cymbals in the back.
So many drums and cymbals, man. Like, the hi-hat spread, because he's got so much stuff, was like, if you were to cross your arms, I know you guys can't see this because it's a podcast, but like, if you were to put your right hand where your left elbow is, and your left hand where your right elbow is, that's the spread from that drum set's hi-hat to snare. So it was arms literally crossed.
All right.
Because there was just so much stuff, and that was the biggest challenge, because, you know, growing up, I knew all of Michael's material, so it was just learning the arrangements, and then learning learning Jonathan's kit. You know, like 6 rack toms, 3 floor toms, 3 kick drums, 5 snare, like, come on, like 3 acoustic snares, 2 electric snares, 2 rows of cymbals. I was like, what am I supposed to do when?
And Google Maps.
Well, Jonathan's tech actually, he was, because they sent me pictures, and I would write down the song, and what I did was I sent the pictures back and circled them, and I numbered all the surfaces, like the important surfaces, like this is kick drum 1, this is kick drum 2, this is kick drum 3, snare 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I was just like, what surfaces do I play on what songs? And he was like, genius. And then he'd like write this, like he gave me the set list, and he was like, this song is kick 2, snare 3 for the verses, snare 4 for the chorus, back to snare 3 for the verse. This song is kick 1 and snare 1 and snare 5. Like, I was like, all right, this is what I have to remember. And then I just set my cymbals up as high as possible.
Yeah.
And that was how I prepped for that gig, which was wild. Yeah.
Great. So also, when you got the call for Tower of Power, that was like a dream come true, or? Yeah,
you have no idea.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Because I I had built, so I've told the story a couple times, and so I built a 12-piece wedding band in Los Angeles because I was just sick of waiting for gigs. You know, I wanted to play music, and I wanted it to be under like my terms. So I was like, I'm just gonna build a band and go to a company, see if we can like just book the band. So I did that, and I put all the tracks together, put all the arrangements together, and then I met Dave, our lead player who also plays trombone. I hired him into the band. So he was.
That was the link.
That was the link. So we did a whole year of rehearsals, and then we shot the promo, and then like a month after we shot our promo, he got the call to go replace who was that? That was Mike Bogart. And then Dave calls me and he's like, "Hey man, so I'm not going to be able to do the band." And I was like, "What happened?" I'm thinking like something happened, like there's a family issue or something. He's like, "I got the gig with Tower of Power." And I was just like, "Dude, that's so awesome. Like, I'll sub you out for 10, 20 years. I don't care. That is so dope. Like, I'm so happy for you." That happened, and my band didn't really get booked that much because it was brand new and it wasn't going to get booked. So I didn't have much money coming in, if any. And, you know, after like, you know, 4 or 5 months of like just scrambling to like make ends meet, playing whatever gigs I could with other bands, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna have to like, you know, take a musical hiatus. So I went to my local post office and I got an application, and I went to my buddy's house and talked to him. He's like my best friend. And he was just like, you know, this is what you got to do. You know, you're a man. You got to make the ends meet. And I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. All right, cool. Filled out the application, and I'm getting ready to leave, and my phone rings. And it's Dave, and he's like, "Hey, so Emilio's gonna call you." And this is no context, out of nowhere. And I'm like, "Dude, who the hell's Emilio?" He's like, "Emilio Castillo from Tower of Power." I'm like, "Why is he gonna call me? What's going on right now?" And I see this phone number ringing, and I'm like, "Hey, I got a number from this area." He's like, "That's him." Hangs up. And I'm like, "Hello?" And he's like, "Hey, Pete, how you doing? This is Emilio Castillo." We talked for like an hour on the phone. He just wanted to know who I was, like what I was about. Asked me to send in some videos. Sent in a bunch of videos, and then sent in a bunch more videos. Like, you know, I was just like, I bet everyone's sending in this type of video and this type of video. So I was like, I'll send in like some of these. And then I was like, you know what, let me send in some ballads. So I sent in a couple ballads. No one was sending in ballads. And they were like, all right, you're smiling at every video and you sent in ballads. Can you play a gig on February 17th in 3 weeks? I was like, absolutely.
But did that get you right? They contacted a lot of people.
A lot of people.
And asked for material
videos
where they were playing Tower of Power stuff or whatever stuff. Tower of Power stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and it really came down to, it was 3 of us, and I was the first one to go out because really, I mean, like my audition was learn a whole set worth of music and go play the gig. And
no rehearsal room,
no. I mean, like I put in the time on my own because that's what this band does. Is like, you know, you go home, you shut the parts, you show up, you know the stuff. Mm-hmm. I had in this instance, I had a 25-minute sound check, and luckily I did my homework because I was like, I want to go over this section. I want to go over this section. I need to go over this ending and this ending. Where do I look? What is going on in these songs? And Emilio just turned around and smiled. He was like, "You did your homework," because those are parts that he like actually physically cues with his hand, like these little like breaks in a song where like it'll stop.
Today on the sound check as well.
Yeah,
we've seen it.
Yeah,
it was very straight.
Yeah,
like chorus 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just go for it.
Yeah, yep, and like he'll give like actual visual cues with his hand, like he's conducting. But when you hear it, if you haven't seen him live, you don't know that that's happening. And I'm like doing my homework, and I'm like, there's no time for these breaks. Like I don't know what's going on. So I was like, I'm like counting it. I'm like, there's no time here. So like something is happening. So I was like, I need to go over that. We went over them, And then he was still auditioning singers at that point. So this, like 2 more singers came in and auditioned in the hour that we had for that show. Okay. So that 25-minute sound check.
Crazy. Yeah.
Did pretty well. And they asked me if I wanted to do, so that was in February. They were like, do you want to do all of March? I was like, absolutely. Oh my God, yes. Yes. Oh. And I did all of March.
It's a fairy tale.
It really is. Yeah. And then like something happened with the next, so I was supposed to do March. Another guy was supposed to do April. Another guy was supposed to do May. And something happened with the second guy and they called me back and I just stayed. Never left.
Yeah. It's great.
And let's talk about. We have to talk about the legacy. You know.
Oh yeah.
So what is it? What is allowed to play at Tower of Power? How much Garibaldi? How much linear drumming? How much does it have to be? And how much are they interested in the beat stuff?
Well, it's actually a really good question. For me, there has to be so much of the original parts because this is a legacy book. Mm-hmm. Like all of David's parts are just so iconic. They make the song. Mm-hmm. Some of the song, like on the serious side, seriously, that drum part is what you chose. Mm-hmm. What? It took me months to figure out, like even just where the one was. Mm-hmm. But I'm I've approached this gig as, just going through all the different years, like going, from the record to, live in, the early 80s to live in the early 90s, live in the early 2000s, live like the 40th, the 50th, like all these different live recordings.
Or different
right. And like just taking all these parts that for me personally, I feel like, make these songs move. And it could be like this verse from one album and then this verse from another album, like totally, I'll like take those parts and I'll play them. And that's really been like the first, 2 years of me playing this gig. Like me implementing myself it's my feel on the drums, That's really, and everyone, like, the comments that I've seen, especially like, online, people are like, thank you for playing his parts. Like we can hear that, like, it's your style, but like you're playing his parts. And I'm like, thank you so much. Cause that's exactly what I'm going for. Perfect. It's like, I'm gonna honor those parts. I grew up fighting to play them. Like, now I get to play them. Why would I not? You put in the work and learn these crazy parts and then play them.
Cool.
So much fun.
Before I forget, you played the cadets. You played in a drum line. Is that correct?
The cadets of Bergen.
Cadets.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. How does this come? Is that automatically if you join high school, you do the sports thing or the music thing there? Or?
Yeah. Well, in my high school, when I was there, you had to choose. You had to do either only sports or only music because both programs were. Like there was so much going on with them that you couldn't do both. Like the scheduling was just, it was impossible to do both. And of course, music.
What did you play there? Snare drum or
tenors, multi-tenors. Okay. Yeah. And so the guy who came in, Tom Ungst, he came in my 6th grade year and he taught pretty much all the elementary schools, the middle schools, and the high school. But he also wrote all the parts for cadets. Okay. So he was training like a bunch of young, just like give us more, and like he would write harder and harder parts. Like by the time we got into high school, like he was testing cadets parts on his high school kids. He was like, are these parts gonna work? And then we'd play them, and he'd be like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, I'll throw that in. And he would like beef it up for cadets, and that's I auditioned and got in when I was 15 and did 2 years, and then tried to do a 3rd year, but left wrist locked up, and I wasn't gonna push through it because I was like, I'm not just gonna only be marching. Like I'm gonna be sitting down and playing. Like this is like a lifetime thing, and I'm not gonna blow any opportunity by like trying to push through a season to make everybody else happy. even though that I can feel the pain in my wrist, I was like, I'm gonna go home. I gotta take care of this.
But as I assume that you took benefit of the discipline or the work ethic, maybe.
Yeah, no, for sure. The work ethic, like learning the parts, like the intricacies of like rudiments. Actually learning them, like being able to play stuff slow, so much harder than being able to play stuff fast. Like you can't play it fast unless you can actually slow it down and you understand exactly what you're playing. Because if you just try to jump at it fast, you're just cheating parts and you're not really, you're not playing it. You just kind of, you can wing it, but I mean, when it comes to like rudiment stuff, you need to know, like, especially with like, all the hybrid rudiments, like book reports and, all, like the grid, doing like, flam drag grid where like the rudiment stays the same and the accents shift. So it's
we talked about
a
few days ago. Yeah.
Oh, really? Nice. Oh man, yeah. Good luck to anyone who's trying to learn the grid. If you do learn it, awesome. If you don't feel bad because it's oh man, it's tough.
One more question because of the work ethic and the discipline or something. I guess this was the most disciplined sound check that we experienced so far.
That was.
I mean,
amazing.
Everyone was really Emilio's. You were really on him with your eyes. You just had to do one wave and everyone stops, or you went to the.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
So our sound check is exactly the same every single night.
Okay.
Like the sound check, literally, he's got it set up so that you hit certain parts of songs that matter, and then you stop, check your monitors, tell monitors what you need, go through everybody, do the next verse, stop, go through monitors. All right, then we'll finish the rest of that verse and go into the next song. Stop in this section. Anybody need anything? All right, let's check sax solo. Let's play this section. What song are we playing tonight? Because we have 4 set lists that we're rotating through for Euro. So it's like we're not playing like the song that he soloed on was a ballad today.
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, let's play the solo from Surely. Play the solo section. He's like, all right, good. And then Emilio tests his vocal, tests the other 2 vocals, main vocals, check the guitars, and then what else are we gonna do?
It was so clear. It was so clear. Just do this. No noodling. No complaining.
No.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the most that you'll get is like we're just kind of making fun of each other quietly on stage while sound check's going on. Like we kind of like, especially the rhythm section, because we're just a bunch of knuckleheads like up there having a good time. Okay. Like if we hear someone like flub something, we'll just be like, heard that.
There was something with the keyboard player.
It was something with all of us, yeah. Like we try to have as much fun as possible.
Talking about monitors, all of you have monitors, no in-ears. So the keyboard player has in-ears.
It's half and half.
Half and half. You all
with the band
as well, half and half.
When I say half and half, I mean like half the band has in-ears.
Okay, so not one ear with in-ears. And
no, that is very, very dangerous to do. Yeah. Whoever's listening to this, don't do one ear in and one ear out. You are doing 10 times the amount of damage.
Okay.
You're better off with nothing in your ears.
Right. And you're wearing no in-ears.
No in-ears.
So no clicks, no backing tracks, nothing like that.
I'm counting off every song except for one.
Yeah.
It's just, let's go.
And how do you remember the tempo of the songs?
Homework.
Do you have a special trick like doing a pattern on your leg or something like that?
What?
Or imagine the melody.
So sometimes this has actually happened a couple times where like we'll try a new set list and we'll be implementing a new song, and that new song will go into something that we're used to doing. It's happened a couple times where Emilio will turn around and be like, all right, go ahead. And I'm like trying to think of the song and I'm like, oh no, how does it go? What are we about to play? And then like one of them will like sing the song and I'm like, 1, 2, here we go. Like, thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah, it's happened a couple of times, but I mean, just having all of the material already in your head to where like you know where they sit. You just I'm singing the next song like while someone's talking.
So the main part for preparing is preparation. So the time you're listening to songs and working them out. And talking about tonight, you said at the beginning that you were listening to Oakland Stroke.
Yeah.
How is it to play it today? If you're the drummer of the band playing that song?
It's awesome. I only get to play 2 bars of it, but it's a lot of fun because it's such a distinct part. Like when those 2 bars hit, because there's no vocals, it's just this interplay between the whole band. It's amazing.
It's almost a quote in soul with a capital S, isn't it?
Yeah. It's we just go into it for a moment and come right back out. And you know what's funny is like honestly like the past 3 gigs I've actually been thinking about it, and I've noticed that if I think about it, sometimes I mess it up.
Okay.
And I'm like, I can't think about it. Like when I saw you guys, I was just like, oh yeah, that's right. I was like, oh crap, wait, I messed it up. I messed it up at sound check yesterday. Don't think about it. And I'm just like, is my laundry done yesterday? Yeah, I put my clothes in the laundry. All right, cool. Yeah. I had to think about everything else except for the part just to get through it. Because if I think about it, it goes by so fast that like I'm just gonna hesitate. Yeah. You hesitate on a 16th note, you're kind of screwed.
Sure.
Yeah.
It would be too late then.
Yeah, it's way too late. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song you're playing with the band tonight?
Man.
Where we should listen then?
Tonight, my favorite song. Oh, so for tonight, my favorite song. Well, I mean, What Is Hip is always so much fun. But because we always change the middle of the set, just enough and too much.
Do you get a print out of this?
Yeah, that's
somebody's
on stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to pick the phone. And...
Oh god, no, it's on the floor. I just look down.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
and they're all abbreviated, so like, it'll just be one word, and
Okay.
You better know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any rituals now for the show? Before the show, take a nap, you do push-ups,
Make some
warm-ups.
Yeah, I just
Call your
honestly,
wife,
I warm up my hands because I have to. Like certain sets are so much harder than others. Like we have one set that we run a lot, and we're actually not doing it that much on this run. Where we're doing. We came to play Soul with a capital S, and then You Ought to Be Having Fun, and then we'll go straight into Soul Vaccination. Mm-hmm. Those 4 songs, like all in a row, my forearms feel like concrete. Like everything's just locked up. If I haven't warmed up, like my hands lock up. Like it's a struggle. So I warm up for like 35, 45 minutes,
Whoa.
just to like and I'm playing basic rolls just to get the everything loose. The whole point of me warming singles, doubles, triples, like flam taps, paradiddle stuff, at different rates, and then just singles like double stops, full for marching it would be like they call it like 15 for height, which is like you're pulling back as far as you can, letting the stick bounce as far as you
15?
can. They call it 15, so it's like 15 is
the
like,
angle.
Yeah. Well, it's the height. So it'd be like 15, 12, 9, 6, 3.
Okay.
Those are like the heights for drum corps.
Mm-hmm.
So 15 is like all the way back.
I always wondered how this synchronicity comes from in motion.
Yeah, those numbers will you'll number your chart. You're like if mezzo forte would be 6, mezzo piano would be 3.
Do you think that has something to do? This concept transferred on the drum set. Does it help with accuracy, timing, groove, and something like this? Really high stick height or?
It does if you apply them correctly.
Yeah, okay.
Knowing all those things is good, but implementing them, like feel always comes first. But having those in your back pocket and like knowing what they feel like, especially on a gig like this, where like accent tap is it's massive. I'm playing super complicated rhythms, and you have to have control over, if I have like 2 notes that are super soft and then 1 note that's loud right after it, and you're doing 3 notes in concession where it's like, that goes by super fast, but you have to know that control, especially if you're doing it with your left hand, which is generally everyone's weaker hand. That's like my left hand is working so much harder than the rest of my body on this gig.
Okay.
I feel like my left hand should get its own paycheck. It's crazy. But implementing that correlation between the heights to the groove is big, because you don't want to play everything just one volume.
Of course.
You have to have accents. You have to have just phrasing. Yeah.
You studied the book, David Garibaldi's book?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't. I just listen a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. Like all the
Crazy.
Tower albums.
Crazy
all
story.
Yeah.
So let me have some last questions so that you have time to warm up.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite drummer you're watching nowadays? Not like David Garibaldi or something like the Legacies?
Yeah. I got a couple. So the number one is Keith Carlock. I love his playing.
Awesome.
Like, he's the only dude that I know that can groove that hard with drums that are wide open. Like, there's no muffling in the kick. Like, everything has a tone, an actual tone. I feel so uncomfortable in that scenario. Like, if my drums aren't muted a little bit, like if I don't have moon gels on the toms and things are just ringing free, I'm like, I don't know what to do with this, because like that's just not my style of play. But he sounds so good doing that. I've been listening to a lot of Keith Carlock. And then who else have I been listening to? I mean, there's a bunch of guys on the YouTube stuff. But I mean, like the whole Estepadio going into Slipknot and watching him turn that gig into like his gig, watching the evolution. He's doing kind of the same thing that I'm doing, where he's like taking those parts and slowly implementing himself. It's so cool to watch. And it's so cool because I'm a Slipknot fan. Like I listen to metal, I listen to rock, like we were talking about earlier. Yeah. So I mean, I like watching him now. There's a bunch of pop guys, like Tony Taylor Jr. He's been playing with Blackpink, but like I've been watching him for a few years, and like that kid he's an animal, absolute beast on the drums. And I think he's like fairly young. I think he's still in his 20s. Monster player. Yeah.
Right. And do you have a special, or what was your worst situation live? Do you have a story about the worst situation you've experienced live?
Live?
Live, yeah. So with Tower of Power, there isn't so much because you haven't got a click track or something like that.
It actually was with Tower. This was horrible. I ended up in the hospital actually.
Right.
It was bad. I was diagnosed with COVID, and they diagnosed it as also like a panic attack, but I felt like I was having a stroke.
Right.
I didn't have control over my body. Like my brain was telling my body to play these parts, but I was struggling. Like my eyes got super big. Emilio kept turning around. He was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." And I made it through the whole gig, but then like at the end of the gig, we usually walk off stage and then come back on to do the encore. I crawled off the back of the stage and they put me in a gurney and they brought me up to an ambulance. And on the way up to the ambulance, they started the encore, and it was What Is Hip. Thank God Jordan, our singer, his first instrument is drums. So he played What Is Hip for the first time ever, live, and sang. And I crawled off the stage and I ended up in a gurney. Jordan ended up playing What Is Hip for the first time and singing it. I'm asking, because they had brought me by past where some of our crew was, and I was like, "Who's playing drums?" And they were like, "Jordan." And I was like, "Who's singing?" They were like, "Jordan." I was like, "Oh God, I hate him so much. He's so good." But like, I couldn't see straight.
Yeah.
I got to the hospital, and they were like, "Sign your name." It looked like a 4-year-old had written their name. Like I couldn't place all vaccination.
That's insane.
I had to fake it, and like everyone was just staring at me like, "What is happening?" It was terrifying. And I've actually run into people, like fans, that were like, "We were at that show. What happened?" I was just like, "I don't even know. I ended up in the hospital. I didn't get back to the hotel until like 6 o'clock in the morning."
All right. But afterward, everything is okay. It wasn't a stroke or something like that.
I never really went to a doctor because that was the middle of a tour.
All right.
I didn't go to a doctor after the tour. I just kind of like.
Okay, so I cross fingers that everything will be all right.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, it hasn't happened again.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Maybe too
keep
stressed or
going.
something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it was terrifying. It was terrible. So that was the worst thing that's ever happened to me live. It was thinking that I was having a stroke.
But we can keep it like this. We have to ask for the best show or the best moment.
The best moment? So the best moment is, funny enough, was with Macy Gray. It was my first big show, and it was I spoke about it earlier. It was the opening for Earth, Wind & Fire at the Greek Theater. I don't know if you guys have you ever been to Hollywood, California?
Yeah, I've been to California, but not to Hollywood, to the theater.
So the Greek Theater is built into the side of the mountain.
All right.
So the stage faces the mountain. So when you're on stage, if you look at the seats go straight up.
Yeah.
There's no click on that show, but the drums were the first thing to start the show, and this was my first major show. So I'm on a riser that's like 11 feet high, and I'm in this all white suit. I'm like, oh my God, it's happening. This is happening. And they turned like all the house lights on for us to start. And I looked up and I was like, oh my God, look at all these people. And the MD's like, start. And I was like, oh God. I had zoned out for a minute because I was just taking in like, holy crap, this is like 5,000-6,000 people, and they're just going straight up into the mountain. It was honestly, it's my most prominent memory of my career. Wow. Just that one moment of forgetting that I was supposed to start the first song.
Cool. Very good. Very good.
Yes, so thank you for the interview. One last question.
Yes.
Have you been to The Mandalorian, Grogu? Because I see your T-shirt.
Yeah. I felt this shirt was appropriate for our Europe tour.
Yeah, Beatles and Star Wars, it's okay.
It works. It works. It's almost like, the Monkees meet the Beatles.
Yeah.
It's three boneheads and their boss. Darth Vader and three stormtroopers.
Yeah, so we have to explain. He's wearing a T-shirt with like the Beatles, the
Abbey Road.
Abbey Road cover.
Yeah.
Well, but with Darth Vader and three stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Walking inside the Death Star or something like that.
Yeah.
It's great. So thank you so much, Pete. It was really, really, really amazing to have you here in the interview.
I'm so glad that you reached out and that we got
that
to
you
do this.
put out the answer.
I had to.
I was like, oh wow.
I was honestly, I was very shocked because you sent me the link, and I'm like, he's interviewed like Steve Gadd, Vinny Colaiuta, like all these like heavy hitters. I'm like, why does he want to talk to me? I'm just like a dude playing drums with my favorite band. So
that's all what's about.
You.
That's amazing. It was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Yeah, we will.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Really looking forward to it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.